everyone, this is Tammy at Snowstorm Crafts, and if you're new here, welcome, and if you've been here before, welcome back. So today I want to play with making a tear book with you guys, okay? And what a tear book is, now you can do like a phone book, you can do a magazine, you can even do a calendar, just like an old calendar, anything like that. Kind of you can get those things that you get in the mail that are just like the thinner papers like this. They're great. So I just have a phone book here that I've had sitting around, 2019, so it's been around for a little bit. And I'm like, I'm not throwing it out. I know I'll use it for something. So today's the day. And what I want to play with today with you guys is I have some acrylic paints. So my husband, he's a contractor, and he went over to painted someone's shed, and they had a bunch of leftover paint from the other color they did. Like they had it sitting there for about a year, and it was in airtight containers and stuff. So they asked my husband if he wanted it, and he's like, heck yeah, my wife will definitely use it. So he brought it home, and they're in big, huge, just containers with lids, like big plastic containers. So what I did is I poured into prescription bottles, just these bottles here. My mother-in-law gave me a bunch of them, and they're really cool. They're perfect for like this kind of stuff, like paints, and they keep it airtight. And so I went ahead and poured different colors in each one, and I will share the colors with you guys, but they're pretty fun. And then I also had some house paint. They're just acrylic like house paints and stuff, like to do. And I had some cool purple and blue, so I'm going to throw some of those in. But what I want to do is add some baby powder to them. And what the baby powder will do is it'll turn it into like a chalk paint. So it'll be like a chalk-based kind of paint, and it'll make it just really cool and matte looking, like, how chalk looks and stuff. It'll just kind of look like that on the pages. And I want to play with that today with you guys. So I got some baby powder, which is, I just have the one that's pure cornstarch. There's nothing else added. There's no bad chemicals or anything like that. So just make sure when you're getting it, just make sure it's pure cornstarch, or you can just use cornstarch. This just has, the fragrance in it. So for some reason they make baby powder so you can't pop the lid off of it, probably for safety reasons, I'm sure. But so I couldn't get the lid off, so I went ahead and just put a bunch in this little container here so I can have, I just have a half a teaspoon here. So we'll measure stuff out and see how much we need to make this look chalky. All right. And I got a paintbrush, just an old paintbrush, and some water, some chopsticks to do some stirring. I just got one for each different color. I got a spray bottle of water, just not sure if I need it, but just in case. And of course, grab like a paper towels or a wet rag is perfect in case you make a big mess, which I'm very good at. And let's get started. So I'm excited. So these are just great to tear out after you have them done, and you can incorporate them into your junk journal and stuff. And also, what I'm wanting to do is, because I have lots of these, which I've done with you guys too. So like these are the painty deli papers. So these are just like off ends that, that I scraped, and, like when my paintbrush is full and I'm done painting, I just, take it and wipe it off on a deli piece of paper, and they're great. So I got a bunch of like this kind of stuff, which I wanted to glue down so they're great background pages is what you're making. So they're just easy to grab, you just see what you got. Like this is botanical ones. So I did some stenciling on deli paper, so you can just use all your jelly prints that you have, different things like that, just incorporate. So I'll be messing around with that too, trying to get these used up and into a spot that I can just grab and incorporate, Oh, and also a great thing to use is the sewing sheets here. These little sewing little papers and stuff. These are awesome. Like I have tons of these. These are great vintage little things. You can find them at, go to Goodwill and you'll find a lot of them for super cheap. Okay. let's get started. Let's see, what color do we have here? I think it's purple. Okay, so we got some purple, right? Or is that the blue? No, this is the blue. This is blue. This one's purple. Okay, so we got blue here. And what I'm gonna do is just take, let's see how much we're gonna need. So this is a half teaspoon, so let's do a half a teaspoon. Let's just do, we'll do a whole teaspoon in each one here. Like that. Okay. And then just take your little chosen chopstick here. And we're just gonna mix it up. I mean, so this just gives it a cool, like, matte finish. Okay. So I'm gonna let that sit, and then I'm just gonna do this in a time lapse and do the exact same thing to each color. I'm just gonna do 1 teaspoon of baby powder in each one. Putting 2 teaspoons in each one, and I'm guessing these are about 4 ounces of paint. That's my guess. I'm assuming it's about 4 ounces. Okay, so, and then I let them sit and did a little stir. For some reason this blue paint's a little thicker, but it's just acrylic water base, just paints here. So just anything you got leftover paint, you know, that you painted the house with, or your shed, or, you know, whatever, your room, your living room, keep it, because they're fun. All right, I'm just gonna set these over here on my napkin, so I don't make too big a mess everywhere. Okay, so let's paint it on here. I did a little part, but let's see what we got and see how it dries. So I'm just taking it, and it doesn't have to be perfect. That's the cool part, is keeping, you know, some of these peeking through is kind of fun. But it's just, you know, to give it a little background to it. Like that. So that's kind of cool. So let's do that, and then I don't want to get too crazy on the paint here, but I'll do some drizzles here. Like that. So it doesn't have to be one color, you know, you can do a little mixture here. So you can see this one's the purple, and I actually did my living room wall with that. It's so pretty. I mean, I love it. I don't know if it's showing up here, but I did my one wall, and I think it turned out really fun. I like it. I did that, gosh, years ago. A couple of years ago. Okay. So there. Just do a little bit of that. And I got like a dark gray here, which is kind of cool. That's going to be a fun one to play with. Okay. And then like a lighter gray. I mean, you don't have to use this much paint. I'm just kind of trying to get some of the stuff off of my chopsticks. Jeez, making a mess everywhere. But this is why I have the rag. And with water-based acrylic paint, it should be easy enough to just wipe up, you know, if you make too big of a mess happening. So I'm trying to just get the big drips here. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and it wouldn't be a bad idea to grab a couple paintbrushes. I have a dry brush here. So I'm going to take my heat gun and let's go ahead and dry this and see where we're at. You can also stencil on these. How fun would that be? Take your stencils and, you know, do some fun stenciling with it, and there you go. Okay, so let me dry that and I will be right back. Okay, so I got it all dry and I think that turned out really cool. I mean, look at that. It's got a really nice just matte finish to it, and it just feels so nice, and it really thickens the pages up. I mean, it thickens them up, and then we're going to do the other side too, so I mean, that is just really cool. So can you guys see that? And the neat thing about doing like a chalk paint is it helps, you know, kind of like a gesso, where a gesso's a, you put a base down first, like a primer, is pretty much what gesso is, and then it makes it so when you do stencil on top or when you do anything on top, it doesn't just soak through, you know, where you have to, so this gives it like a nice just primer underneath anything that you're going to do. So, I mean, this is just great to sit, you know, I'm going to sit in my craft room and I can just sit here and watch my favorite programs and flip through or listen to music and just go to town here. And let's do that. Okay, so another way, I'm going to see if I can just drip. This one's thick. The blue is really thick for some reason. Here, I'm just gonna. So yeah, well, it's the cornstarch too. Well, the blue I think was already like a thicker paint for some weird reason, but it's definitely thickening up. So 4 ounces, 2 teaspoons, and then for some reason this one's a little thinner. So you can just kind of adjust to see how, you know, your paint is, how thick your paint is, and just kind of go with that and go from there. Here, since these are thick, I'm gonna have my brush a little wet here. So that's all I'm doing. I'm just kind of just putting down some interest, and then I'm gonna come back through with you guys and we'll do some fun just decorating. Just see what we can come up with. And I am wanting, and I've asked you guys in another video, but I'm wanting to take all of our junk mail. You know, you get a bunch of junk mail. You get the nice big envelopes from Amazon, you know, packaging. You get just the junk mail envelopes. You get flyers, you know, those thicker little cardstock flyers in the mail. You know, you can even do like the grocery flyers, like the little newspaper clipping, you know, little newspaper inserts and stuff like that you can get for advertisements. Those are great, and I want to put them all together and make one big huge signature with you guys, bind it, and that's the base of this tear journal, or tear book is what I'm calling it, a little tear book, that we can come in here and just decorate it. Add down our, you know, deli papers that we've worked on, and some stenciling on top. You can even draw on it too and do your own little paintings on it, and do some interest, and, you know, you can just have it just so it's a mixed media page. You can take it and splat paint, and you can just keep it like this, you know. And they're great just to kind of tear out, and then we can just add it to our cool junk mail little book that we're gonna make, our little journal. I mean, does that sound good? Let me know in the comments down below if you guys would be interested in that. But I think it'll be a good time to just kind of decorate it up. And also magazine. I wanted to incorporate some magazine images and, you know, stuff like that we can put throughout. So yeah. Let me know. Comment down below. And if you guys are enjoying this video, hit the like button. I love to hear from you guys and see you guys liking this videos, and, you know, knowing I'm on the right track. I need to know if I'm on the right track, and you guys are liking what you're seeing here. And I could just kind of get the ball rolling and doing some more fun little things like this with you guys. All right. So there we go. We got another couple pages here. So I'm going to go ahead and dry these and just go into a time lapse and decorate a couple more pages. Okay, so I just wanted to show you guys here. Before I put the lids on them, I'm just taking a wet rag and just kind of wiping around like that, because you do not want that to get all crunched up. Then it makes it just hard to open. So I got baby powder all around this one, but I'm just taking it and just kind of getting all the paint that's maybe, you know, in the grooves on the side there. Just makes it so like if you're not going to open it for a while, then it won't be so hard to open. Okay, so I just wanted to show you guys that. And I went through and painted some pages. This one's a little tacky, but it should be okay. So I just want to show you guys you can just do a solid color too. So I just did blue on both of these. So we got those all ready for next time. Or later, what am I kidding? I'm probably gonna sit here and do this later and get them all painted and have some fun. Okay, so I just want you guys to follow along with me so you guys can have fun doing it too. All right, so I just did blue. This was the mixture. A little more solid, and then the front here. I'm thinking I want to stencil on this front page, and I'm wanting to do like a fall theme throughout this, like Thanksgiving, fall kind of theme. And yeah, that sounds fun. So I got these at Home Depot, and they're great little just touch-up kits, right? So I got a black that I put black acrylic paint and then white. And then I just keep it in a Ziploc bag. I put them both in the Ziploc bag, and it keeps them fresh. So you don't have to sit there and wash your stuff off every time. And these are great for stenciling with. So I just have some just regular black. I'm trying to use up the rest of it here. Let's see. And then I got another black if I need it. So I'm just trying to get the rest of this out of here. There we go. Okay. Not making too much of a mess. All right. That's why I keep a little wet rag by me. So there we go. And I got a cute pumpkin that says blessed on it. And I thought that was perfect. And I'm going to take my little roller here. But yeah, these were, I mean, what was, I think $3.50, and it comes with the roller and the, it was under $5, I know that. And they come with the roller and the little container with the lid. I mean, how cool is that? And I like this little spot up here so you can just kind of dip and then run it on the little grooves just to even out your roller. Okay. And then I'm just going to take it and roll it on. I mean, how fun is that? And just make sure to wash off your stencils when you're done, if you want them to stay clean. But yeah, this is so much easier than sitting there dabbing, or, you know, because I have my stencil brushes. So they're just the round like this. And these are, you could do that too. You can just stencil all around like that. But after a while, it hurts my arm, you know, when you're sitting there stenciling so much. And you just take this little guy and, you know what? And if it doesn't turn out perfect, that's cool. I'm not about perfect here. This is just a fun, put down some fun things. And I mean, look at that. Is that cool? And then what I want to do, this might smudge over here, but I'm going to go like this just to do a stamp off here. Because why not? And I got my paper towels. Let's see if we can get a stamp print. So this is just what you do, is just go through, see what you got, do some fun stenciling. I mean, look at that. Isn't that cool? But I am going to go rinse this off before it dries. But how cool is that, you guys? So yes, these rollers are great. Just go to your like local hardware store. I'm sure I got mine at Home Depot. So wherever you guys go, and just grab some. They're pretty cool. So I'll be right back. Okay, so I went ahead and got that all dried. And now I want to play with my deli papers. And I've showed you guys before. I have these in the links down below. Just, it's a whole, like 1,000 sheets, I think, of deli papers. So come check them out if you want to get some. They're great and fun time to play with. But these are my background papers here. So like you could just take, you know, pieces of it that we played with and did some stenciling on. Let's see. That could be fun. But that's what we can do, is just maybe piece it together. I got a little gold here. That'd be a good time. A little gold. Okay. So just go through any of your scraps you got hanging around. I mean, oh, that one's kind of fun. Just whatever you got here. Okay. So those would be fun to play with. Let's see. So what I have, my glue and water mixture. It's just PVA glue and water, about 50-50. That's how I do it. Okay. All right, let's see. Running out of room here. So we could just take it and tear pieces that we want. Okay, so I'm just going to take it and glue it all down, and I'll do it in a time lapse, and we'll see what happens. This turned out so cool. I got it mostly dry here, but that's all you got to do is just take your deli papers, anything that you have, and just glue them down and then just dry them, or leave it open, let it dry all night. And the fun part about it is that when you're doing your journal, you could just cut this out and make it a belly band, and you already have a belly band ready to go, or a pocket, or you know, or rip the whole thing out and put it into your junk journal and just add pieces into the background. So this is just great background pages, or you can use them as pockets, belly bands, corner pockets. Like you could cut this out, make a little corner pocket to stick into your journal. And the cool thing about it is when you paint on both sides, you really get it gets thicker. It thickens them. So it makes them a lot better to add and sturdy up your journals. Okay, so now what I want to do is play with some stamps. So I just got some fun stamps here, and I got my messy gloves because I have permanent ink that I stamp with. And it just gets on my hands and I hate it. So, and it stays forever. So I might as well just put my dirty gloves, I reuse them, recycle till they fall apart. And I just got my ink pad here. I got some fun fall leaves and September flowers. I just figured those were pretty. And just a note. I think that's fun. And then just some more leaves, some words. I got my crows. Play around some crow stamping. So that's all I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and I'll do this in a time lapse, and I'm just going to go through and stamp up. Alright, so I think that turned out really cool. I got it all dried. Okay, so I got that done, and then now we're on this pages, and I want to play with some napkins. Napkins are always great, and I had some fun fall ones here. So I was thinking we could just take it with the glue and water mixture. 50-50, this stuff works great. So that's definitely an idea. So I'm going to... I thought this kind of went with the fall theme here. So only this part has the stripes, so that's weird. But that's okay. So let's go like this. And just use the one layer. There we go. And I'm just gonna take it and glue it down, just kind of like I did the deli paper. Pretty much the same concept, where you put the glue down first, and then you put your napkin on top. Sorry for the reach there. So I got my glue, and I just go like this. Put it down first, and then throw the napkin on top like that. And then you just do the glue on top. Easy as that. So I'm going to go through and do this in a time lapse and get some napkins glued down, and we'll go from there. That turned out really cool. I love how you can just see the background come through everything. And I love these napkins. Isn't that fun? I mean, they'd have little tags on them. It's so cool. My mother-in-law gave them to me. They're just the little travel napkins that you can put like in your car and stuff. So they're kind of fun. I think it's perfect for the fall theme here. So there we go. So those are different options that you guys can do into your tear books here, and I hope you guys found this informational. And if you could please subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell, and you guys will see my next video when I post it. Like, comment, and share, and let's grow together and keep on crafting.